Hello, 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 Jiu-Jitsu fans. We are being joined today by Tom. Say hi, Tom. He's a little cranky right now, right? We just went out on a walk. We did a bunch of fun stuff. We watched a good event. You should be excited to get to some of the action that we just saw at WNO 21. First and foremost, before we dive into everything, I'm not going to show any of the highlights from the broadcast. I think the last time I did a live chat, it was ADCC trials, and I used some of the footage that was on FloGrappling, and that I think caused my video to be demonetized. So we're going to try to avoid that because I love talking to you guys about this stuff, but the girls got to get paid. So we're going to try to avoid being demonetized at all costs. But we have some action to get into. First and foremost, let's start off with the undercard. The undercard started off with honestly not names that I was super familiar with, but when I looked deeper into their backgrounds and the fights that they've had in the past, I was very impressed, particularly by the girls on this card. Mia Funegra, I had no idea that she was also a twin. She's training under the Mendez brothers over there at Art of Jiu-Jitsu. She was taking on Janice Russell. Now, all of these fights in the undercard were 9 minutes. Then when we get to the main card, they all become 15 minutes under WNO rule set. And I think a lot of this card was kind of really not banking on Gordon Ryan being there, but I think they said in the beginning, they were like, this is the best card we've had all year. And I think it's definitely a good card, but I think there were better ones this year. But in terms of action, we got some great action that delivered, especially in that co-main and main event. But before we dive into all that, I'm going to be doing a little bit of producing, a little bit of commentating, but I'm just a white belt, so I'm just here trying to tell you as a fan which stars on the rise to look out for. So if you're looking for a more technical breakdown, let me know in the live chat who you think would be a good person for me to interview and talk some jiu-jitsu with, because there was a lot of fun stuff that we saw today. And then later on, I'll be giving you guys an update about Karate Combat and Combate Global news. We're all over the place with the coverage right now, but it makes it fun because you don't want to just watch only one promotion. You want to keep things fresh. Hello, Trengy. Yes, I thought it was a very good card as well. We're going to dive right into our first match, which was between Ian Butler, who is an MMA fighter, taking on some jiu-jitsu matches against B Team's Nick Mataya. I was not familiar with Nick beforehand, but I noticed there were some B Team folks in the crowd. I'm like, okay, I wonder why they're there, because there's not, a heavy roster full of B Team people on this. But it was Nick Mataya that they were there for. And man, I gotta show you this highlights. Again, the highlights are not from the broadcast, so there's no rights issues that I should come across. All of these videos are from social media, which you're allowed to show, at least I think.
Now we gotta get up again, Ian. Now we gotta get back to our feet again, Ian. Get a cross face here. Pinch your knees. Bigger for your legs, Ian. Bigger for those legs. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Hooks.
Judges favor blue.
Watch the Kimura again, Ian. Watch the Kimura again, Ian. So pummel your right knee in there. Pummel your right knee on the inside, Ian. Pummel your right knee to the elbow. No, pummel your right knee on the inside of the elbow. No. Stop!
Yeah, so impressive stuff there. Nick got an Uchimata, and then he got a second throw, worked his way to side control, and got that Kimura. It's got to feel pretty good to get a submission win in the state that you live. I mean, Austin, Texas is definitely on the rise, or I guess a lot of people are considering the Mecca of jiu-jitsu. And I guess that's fair. Texas can have that. I mean, SoCal, we have a bunch of different other things. But, I mean, Art of Jiu-Jitsu showed out tonight. I think a few people from Texas lost to a few people from California. One of them was between Mia Funegra versus Janice Russell. Oh, my gosh. I am just amazed by Mia. Just the way she moves, the way it's just beautiful. It's beautiful jujitsu. And it's definitely no surprise. She is working with people who are also at Art of Jiu-Jitsu. Jessica Khan, I got an interview with. I know she mentioned in her interview, she trains with Margot as well. So she's getting a lot of experience training with black belts. She's only 17, technically a blue belt, but obviously her skill set, I think, shows much more than that. So let's show, this is from the undercard, so I'm allowed to show this because this is on the internet. So sticky. Like, you're so little, I should be able to like throw you off me, but the way that you move and you're just like glued to me all the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, let's run it back. All right, so she had to deal with a little bit of Janice Russell's inversions, but then she manages, and just the hip movement, the hip swivels. Great stuff by Mia Funegra there. And she got it done under 9 minutes. So congratulations to her there. She is definitely someone I could see moving on to, you know, one championship, different opportunities that other jiu-jitsu promotions have. She could definitely shine in. And they're obviously already doing such a great job with her promotions. They have a jiu-jitsu page for them. So you should definitely check them out. They are stars on the rise. This was her WNO debut. So getting a submission in your WNO debut must feel pretty good. Now let's take a look at the full card that we had here. Again, Cody Steele, Mika Galvao, I have to give as match of the night. I thought that was the most entertaining match we saw. Mika Galvao ended up getting the submission of the night as well. And then we see over here, Pedro Marino versus Rafael Lovato Jr. That was in the main event. And then Helena Cravar will also get to versus Julia. All very fun stuff there. Congratulations to Mia Funegra defeating Janice Russell via armbar at 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Navigating the intricate guard of Russell, Funegra stayed patient in her attempts at passing, met with inversions, carrying on the submission momentum. Funegra demonstrated excellent guard passing ability, achieving mount and route to victory via armbar. Shout out to FloGrappling, whoever writes these live results. You make my life that much easier. And I want this to be as seamless for any audio listeners as well. I'll be putting this on my Beast with Brains podcast, available on Spotify, eventually Apple Podcasts as well. So let's dive right into our next fight.
Luke Griffiths, my South African brother. As an Afrikaner, you should know about the strict history of apartheid in your country. Will I, my friend, abide by that policy in the sport of jiu-jitsu? As a New Wave junior, you will be segregated from any matches against a B-team senior. Sorry, brother. Call up Daddy Danaher for a promotion. Get back to me. Owen Jones gets the job done. He takes a W at the press conference of Stuttering Steve.
Okay, guys, so I'm still experimenting with when you guys are able to hear and when you guys can hear me, but hopefully you just heard Craig Jones respond to Luke Griffith's call out. Luke Griffith is looking to get into, I think he's in the top 5 now. He's looking to, don't quote me on that. He might be in the top 10 and he's looking to get even higher in the ranks. Craig Jones is ranked number 2, so he wants that smoke. He did that in front of all his B-team teammates. Damn, the hostility in Texas is real. In Austin, Texas is real. But good for him getting it done. Now we go to another New Wave member who got the win tonight. It is Helena Cravar, who I feel like Obviously, she had so much momentum with her before the ADCC trials, and then she lost the ADCC trials, you know, saw a little bit of holes in her wrestling and a little bit of strategy. And I feel like whenever you have that Valentina Shevchenko moment, Alexa Grasso beats Valentina, oh, she's no longer invincible, you know, and you see Helena Cravar now not getting the submission, people might have their doubts, but she is so young, she is so still on the rise, and she still won in dominant fashion. Not dominant fashion, but she was still able to, you know, get to mount. She didn't get the submission, but she still was able to showcase her skill set. And, you know, she's so young. It's just like she's going to be in this game for the long time. You guys better recognize the name Helena Cravar. Yes, great win. Great win for Helena Cravar there. Let's take a look at the live results from FloGrappling. Helena Cravar versus Julia Melee in the featherweight bout that took 15 minutes. In one of her greatest wins to date, Helena Cravar pulled out the kitchen sink, unleashing leg attack after leg attack on Melee. That's not how you pronounce her name. On Julia. Unable to find the finish, Cravar fought her way to mount, attempting a kata gatame, then transitioning to a triangle where Julia was able to escape again. Cravar then fired off a last-second Aoki lock, and Julia's submission defense again proved itself strong. So again, Julia's experience, able to survive Helena Cravar, but not enough to inch out the win there. Then we also have to talk about Tynan Dalbra on the undercard. He is also from Art of Jiu-Jitsu. He's kind of making his big debut into no-gi. He has a big background in gi. So putting on a beautiful display in his black belt no-gi debut, Tynan Dalbra landed a single leg takedown straight to side control. Guys, this single leg was so beautiful. I thought it was a single leg to double, but maybe not. Let's watch. Love it. Tynan gets it done. That S mount, man, that's tough. The only reason I recognize it is because I got an armbar from S mount, and I just felt so secure in that position. So shout out to Tynan Dalbra. Passing to mount afterward, Dalbra patiently collected double underhooks, transitioned to S mount, and slid off into an armbar finish. Now, you guys got to let me know if this type of if the WNO rule set is interesting to you, or if you prefer an ADCC style rule set. Also, there's 7 of you in here. This video should have at least 7 likes. Smash that like button and make sure you subscribe for all the latest and greatest news in Alex Wendling's life, BJJ News, Karate Combat, Combate Global, cover a lot of UFC. Thank you guys for being here. Now, let's go to our next match of the evening. We already talked Luke Griffith defeating Roosevelt Souza via heel hook. Souza elected to sit guard after exchanging heavy collar ties. Once grounded, Griffith and Souza exchanged attacks, Souza eagerly hunting Griffith's legs. Souza attempted to pull Griffith into 50-50 guard, where Griffith found heel hook exposure for the finish. And then He went on to call out Craig Jones. Where is Craig Jones right now? Like, he looks somewhere tropical. He was like super quick with that response too. That's how you know he was ready. We'll have to see if Nicky Ryan has a good response because Mika Galvao ended up calling him out. We'll get to that part though. They ended up facing off because Nicky Ryan was at the scene. But now let's get to Giancarlo Bodani versus Lucas Hulk Barbosa. This is heavyweights. Guys, I am not the best at following the heavyweights other than, you know, when we do ADCC talk. But I have been, you know, watching Giancarlo Bodani, and he is something serious. So let's play his highlights. Oh, actually, I didn't have his highlights because his went to decision, and I was just like, we're not going to watch that. We only want to include subs on our after show because we only have time for submissions. If you're a jiu-jitsu practitioner and you don't get that sub, we don't got time for that. But he did get the win via referee's decision. Neither fighter was able to crack the defense of the other, Bodani having nearly scored a takedown, utilizing an arm drag and foot sweep to off-balance Barbosa, using heavy collar ties and pummeling. Well, in overhook and underhook ties, Bodani repelled Hulk's shots and was able to get the win. So again, not super overly exciting there. The most exciting match for sure was Mika Galvao versus Cody Steele, and we are one fight away before we get to that fight. But you know what we have to talk about first? We have to talk about the unfortunate anticlimactic featherweight championship that took place, all right? So Diego Pato was looking to redeem himself. He lost to Baby Shark before. Baby Shark is the WNO featherweight champion, or should I say was. He was coming into this fight looking to defend his title, and things were going back and forth between these two. We will show you some highlights, and then it ends in a very anticlimactic way and unfortunate, especially because Baby Shark is such a baby. You don't want anything happening to the baby.
Championship, the blue corner, Diego Pato.
So I just realized that Tom's crotch has been in the shot the whole time. So sorry, you guys had to watch that. He is sleeping right now. So, you know, sleeping naked. He doesn't have his gold chain on. He doesn't have his bow tie on. He is just a naked guy. All right, so Baby Shark versus Diego Pato. Diego Pato out of Art of Jiu-Jitsu as well. I think it was nice that a lot of Art of Jiu-Jitsu fighters could compete on the same card and be able to train, you know, the same rule set and come in together as a team. It's just so much more fun competing as a team. So Pato kicked off the action with a jumping guard pull immediately in on a heel hook attempt. Back and forth, the pair fired off leg attacks, creatively finding entries. Several minutes in, Diogo appeared to injure his knee during a scramble and submitted. As soon as he made that scramble, I could tell that he was injured. Like I think it took like a second and a half, maybe less, for him to actually tap, like for you to see the physical tap. But I could tell once he did his little scramble, something in his hi baby, in his in his body movement, you could tell that he was done so. Diego Pato crowned the new WNO featherweight champion. Obviously not the way that he wanted to win, but you know, injuries happen. It's a contact combat sport. So next up, the most exciting match of the night, the match that got submission of the night, because we all really prefer submissions. And I do have a great appreciation for people who say that they're here to entertain and then actually try to entertain you, because I feel like a lot of jiu-jitsu people, they might genuinely believe that they are trying to be entertaining, but then they just don't understand that that means like scrambling the whole time. And that's obviously not the smartest game plan for some people, so I can see why people don't do it. But I hate it when people say that they're not a boring fighter, but then all they do is just like sit around in the back or try to slow people down. So Mika Galvao, definitely not boring. Cody Steele, athletic as all hell, definitely not boring. And they came out with a bang. If you guys are gonna rewatch any match, I definitely recommend this one. It was so fucking fun. Okay. I don't know if I have their highlights. Puta madre. Yeah, that was definitely the most exciting one we saw. Mika Galvao ended up, he had a few different attempts. He had a guillotine attempt that I really didn't think Cody was going to be able to survive. And then he eventually got to the back of Cody Steele. But in the lead up to it, it was absolutely insane. So both fighters feinted attacks from the start. Mika striking first with a foot sweep straight into an arm in guillotine. This was beautiful. Please go back and watch it. Favoring the guillotine, Mika countered a shot from Steele into the choke shortly after. Late in that match, Mika suplexed Cody from a front headlock into a mounted guillotine. Unlocking the choke, Mika forced his way to Steele's back, where he found the finish. And then in the post-fight interview, Kendall Roosing joked about how this match was for who would be the mayor of Suplex City. We got one solid suplex in there. And when I think of fun suplexes to watch, I think it was Mika Galvao versus J-Rod. I think we got some fun ones in there too. So if you're going to go back to any matches, definitely go back to some Suplex City stuff with Mika Galvao, who eventually not only got the submission of the night, he made the perfect call out, calling out Nikki Ryan for the February 9th card in Costa Mesa. February 9th, not a day after my birthday, and Kimbo Slice's birthday, FYI. That is going to be a good one. Nikki Ryan does have another match coming up before then, so hopefully everything goes well with that, and he will be fine for February. He's going to be fighting December 10th in Las Vegas. And guys, I was so excited. I asked you guys if you guys would be interested in a Nikki Ryan interview. And of course, my YouTube subscribers are all like, yes. And then I find out that the original date that Nikki Ryan was supposed to fight would have been perfect, because it would have been the day before I arrived for Karate Combat in Vegas. But they moved it a week earlier, so I don't think I'll be able to get the in-person interview. And I just feel like digital interviews don't hit the same. Like, I want to do an in-person interview if it's with Nikki or, you know, anyone coming up on that card, honestly. So Pedro Marino versus Rafael Lovato Jr. We did not get a submission here. I remember seeing Rafael Lovato Jr. when he retired at IBJJF. I think this was 2022, 2021. So I remember seeing him in person, and he just gave great energy in his fight style and the way everyone was just recognizing him. You could just tell that he was such a magnetic guy. So Marino led the tempo in the first 5 minutes of a razor-thin match, scoring 2 takedowns and gaining the judges' favor. Lovato, determined to make a comeback, kept an unrelenting pace for the latter half of the match, but could not breach the defense of Marino. And Pedro Marino defeats Rafael Lovato Jr. via referee's decision. So yeah, a fun night of fights for WNO 21. Oh my God, guys, I made it onto, I didn't know they put on the venue the people that were participating in the hashtag WNO 21 fans. Fingers crossed that I can get the free membership, because all this jiu-jitsu coverage I'm doing will hopefully make me enough money to pay that back. So hopefully next year I can pay off at least what I pay a year for FloGrappling subscription. February gang, Aquarius gang, I guess Aquarius and Pisces gang in here. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about WNO 21. Let me know if you have any questions just in general. For me, I do have a few things coming up. Not a birthday, obviously. My birthday's in February. I mean, I guess it is getting kind of closer. I'll be turning 26. And I'll have some news about different promotions I'll be covering. But in the most recent news, we do have December 15th with Karate Combat 43. Last event, I was filling in for the beautiful Layla Anna Lee. She is not going to be at the next event as well. She's going to be in Vegas, but for UFC 296, because her husband, Ian Gary, will be fighting. Hopefully I'll see her at Karate Combat. I will be doing either, some TikTok hosting or post-fight interviews. It is TBD, but no matter what I'm doing, I hope you guys can tune into Karate Combat. And if you're ever in the live chat, give me a shout out. I appreciate you guys and your support. And the more support that I get from other people, the more opportunities I get. So I can't do this without you guys. It's a very symbiotic relationship with my fan base. And I just love talking to you guys. So hopefully, also I'll have a very fun question and answer coming out that I promised you guys at 2K. When I reached 2K subscribers, I said I was going to do a question and answer. I let my anonymous box of messages fill up. And they just kept filling up, and I never got around to filming the video. Now we're at 26K. I finally filmed the video, and now I just have to edit it together. And it's super funny, oh my gosh, Care Bear Kieran. Care Bear Kieran's in the building. We're gonna be talking about our love lives soon. That's all me and Care Bear Kieran do. Basically talk about our sadness and our misery. Care Bear Kieran, he's the best. He works at Overtime now. We used to work at Haymakers together, where he would just, make fun of me every day for eating cottage cheese. So, fuck you, Kieran. Yeah, I don't have one either, evidently, except with Tom. Let's say hi to Tom. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be so crank. Hello. All right, guys. So that's about it for me. If you guys have a Snapchat, please add me on Snapchat, because I'll be trying to do some more stuff on there too. It's at Alex Wendling X. If you have not liked this video, please do, because that helps me get my stuff into other people's For You pages and different ways to get exposure. And if you guys like these live chats, let me know if there's specific topics that you want me to cover next time. I will definitely look into that. But until then, keep an eye on Karate Combat December 15th. You'll either see me hosting on TikTok or in the broadcast. Either way, don't forget to share some love. And also Combate Global. We have fights going on this weekend. I think there could be some exciting news for me coming up with Combate Global as well. I've been covering their Snapchat and their TikTok for the past year. Grown their channel. So if you guys have time to follow them on TikTok and Snapchat, you will not regret it, because we're going to get some exclusive content with them as well. Also, FloGrappling, if anyone from you is watching, please put my name in the running for the free membership to FloGrappling. I feel like I need to get some type of discount, you know? I'm covering this sport with just pure passion and love for cottage cheese. Okay, good night, y'all. Take care.